This is KI0AR. Does anyone need to use the repeater system before I begin this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net? Please go ahead now. Calling the Colorado Astronomy Net, calling the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is KI0AR. My name is Bernice, and I'll be your net control for this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net. Just a reminder, the 3-minute timeout function is still in effect, so during long transmissions, please allow the repeater systems to reset themselves. Also, please use the word break for emergency or priority traffic. If there is any emergency or priority traffic, please go ahead now.
Bruce, I think we doubled there for a minute. K0VH, just want to let you know I'm back in town. We'll be monitoring the net, and you can go ahead and check me in there, but everything should be normal tonight. KI0AR, K0VH.
All right, Jack, thanks for that. Hopefully we won't have the issues we had last week, so I do appreciate that. All right, let's see. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. This net meets every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 0100 Zulu. On Wednesdays to discuss topics of an astronomical nature, what's up in the night skies for the week, any other special events that may be of interest to the amateur radio astronomy enthusiasts around the world. Also, this is one of the few nets where your check-in does count. I tally up the numbers and send them off to JPL at the end of each month. Counts as part of the counts as part of their outreach to the general public, of which we are a part. So all check-ins are definitely appreciated. I take check-ins several ways. If you have NetLogger, I will see your call sign pop up over in the AIM window and get you logged in right away. Same with YouTube. If you happen to be on a YouTube, I am monitoring the chat window over there, and I have, let's see, there we go. And if you have a call sign over on YouTube, just post that in the chat and I'll get you logged in. If you don't have a call sign, that's no problem. Do appreciate a first name and a location. If you do not have a call sign, if you do have a call sign over on YouTube, you can post that if it's not readily apparent as to what it is in your name there. So I do appreciate everyone checking in. Let's see. Also, I will take them over the air in just a minute. And let's see, I'll take them via email. If you happen to not be able to check in any other way, you can send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and just let me know you're out there. If you've got a call sign, include that in your email. If not, a first name and a location will be fine. Right now, I'll go ahead and acknowledge those that I do have so far. Let's see, who do we have so far? We got Ed, W6RDZ, thanks for checking in tonight. Dave, AF0AS, thanks for checking in tonight. Moy, N5ZIQ, thanks for checking in tonight. Jack, KE0VH, thanks for checking in tonight. Joe, I'm not sure exactly how to spell your name. Josue, and Akron there. W8HRF. Thanks for checking in tonight. Mike, KO5AOK over on YouTube. Thanks for checking in tonight. Mike, KE2FTG over on YouTube, thanks for checking in tonight. And Ken, NV7SS, thanks for checking in tonight. And we got Jay, AI70F, thanks for checking in tonight. And who else do we got? We got John, KJ7AGQ over on YouTube, so thanks for checking in tonight. I'll be checking. I don't think we have any new calls quite yet. Let me check. Let me check a few things here. No new calls yet, but I do appreciate those that may be out there. If you are a new call on the list, I want to touch base with you just pretty quickly. I'll let you know if you're new or not. I think so far everybody's on the list. Oh, let's see. And Roy, KI7PKL, thanks for checking in tonight. And let's see, John, yeah, I just got you, John, KJ7AGQ. Thanks for checking in tonight. Let's see. I'll go ahead and open up the net for check-ins over the air. If you are digital mode only for right now, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. Okay, good evening to you, Ed. WD0BCT, haven't heard you in a long time, so definitely a re-welcome to you, that's for sure. It's been ages since you checked in, Ed, so glad to have you on. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net? Digital mode only. Please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Hey, Bernice, I have a one here. You're coming through pretty bad there at times. Control. Mickey, Willow, Alaska. K07,
Okay, I did hear the excuse me, echo as well. KE0VH, this is KI0AR caller.
Yeah, I'm here, Bernice, and I heard it too. I don't know what would be causing that, though. There's two other nodes that are coming up. Let me call one of our people here, P0VH.
This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Please stand by. Please stand by.
Look, look, lots of looking. Fireside get disconnected from Skyhub. Is Fireside no longer on the Colorado Astronomy Net? Looking to listen to the Colorado Astronomy Net. KL7FR.
Hey Mike, this is KI0AR. We just had some echoes there. I don't know. They were hearing me echo, of course, and I heard everybody else echo when they tried to check in. So we're standing by here. I got you on the list. I don't know if what was going on. We got Doug, K0ATP, Ed, WD0BCT. And we got you on their list, on the list, Mike, KL7FR. Thanks for checking in tonight. For those of you who are on digital or digital mode or checking in through a Echo Link node or something like that, you may want to direct connect to 985-839. 985-839 is the direct node into the Skyhub Link system. For those of you who might be on a different system checking into the net, please, it's a little bit more efficient if you do connect directly to the Skyhub Link system, skyhublink.com, for more information on how you can check into that directly. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net.
Yeah, Bertus, K0VH here. There seems to be a problem, especially with that Fireside system that comes through, and we're going to have to get with the ownership of that. If you're on that Fireside system and you'd like to connect in for the Astronomy Link, we'd love to, or net, we'd love to have you, but if you could please connect direct in to Skyhub Link, it would certainly help, because we're probably going to have to end up disconnecting the Fireside system until this situation can be resolved. So apologies for that, but we may have to look at doing that here. Okay, Bertus, back to you. KE0VH. We're in contact with Jay and some of the other admins for the system as well. K0VH, back to that.
All right, Jack. Yeah, that's what I just mentioned before you came on, and reiterated that as well. Correct. Connect directly, skyhublink.com, for all the other ways you can connect directly to the Skyhub Link system tonight. Let's see. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Let's see. I think who else do I got? All right. Let's see. Frederick up in Michigan, KF8FSQ. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. I see you popped up over on NetLogger, so thanks for that. If you are listening to us tonight, I like to touch base with our first-time check-ins and find out a little bit more about your interest, background, in astronomy. Again, let me introduce myself. My name is Bernice. That's Bravo, Uniform, Romeo, November, Echo, Sierra, Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt, India, Zero, Alpha, Romeo. 30 years net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Astronomy news is good all over the world. I'll have some announcements, local astronomical news, got some bulletins for this evening. I've got a rocket report, all the rocket launches and the updates on the Artemis as well as in that rocket report. And then I like to go down the list, so hopefully everyone can stick around for the next hour and 3/4. That's probably what we're going to run to for the net tonight. And let's see. There we go. Got another one on the list. But right now, Frederick up in Michigan. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. If you are on the air tonight, would certainly like to touch base with you. Tell me about your background interest in astronomy, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for decades or somewhere in between. KF8FSQ, welcome to the net. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Go ahead. Okay, Fred, I saw that. Okay, we'll correct that. Don't know exactly what's going on. Let me post that Skylink node, Echolink node, uh, in the chat there. So on NetLoggers for you. Again, you can check out skyhublink.com for. There's a bunch of ways. DMR and Echolink and All-Star Node and WiresX nodes, things like that, Fred. So, but check out that site for sure, and I'd definitely like to touch base with you in a bit, and we will be going down. So hopefully you will monitor. Monitor and join us in the chat later on. I do appreciate that. And again, welcome to the net. All right. Yeah, Fred posted something is down. Node can't connect via monitor or otherwise. So, okay. Well, I'm glad you're out there listening, Fred. And again, welcome. And John, we got you on the list. W2JLS. Thanks for checking in tonight. Oh, let's see. Haven't taken analog yet. Analog check-ins. Anyone operating analog mode, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Oh, Yankee uniform, K9BYU. Kilo Foxtrot Zero Whiskey Romeo X-ray. Kilo Foxtrot Zero Whiskey Romeo X-ray. Kilo Mike 6 Victor Alpha Yankee. Kilo Mike 6 Victor Alpha Yankee. Even Colorado Springs. Hey, Bird.
Okay, good evening to you, Russell. K9BYU, thanks for checking in tonight. Trevor, KF0WRX, thanks for checking in tonight. And Steve, KM6VAY, thanks for checking in tonight. Again, I will take check-ins via email and over on YouTube as well and through NetLogger. But right now, I'm going to need to get started with the net. We've had a little slow up there with minor glitches, but yeah, please bear with us. Oh, let's see, announcements. Announcements. No. Excuse me. I publish a monthly astronomy newsletter via email and the World Wide Web. If you wish to subscribe to the email version of the newsletter, please send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and request to be put on the list, or you may visit the website at www.ki0ar.com/astro.html. And at the top of the webpage is also a spot where you may submit your email address and get your email subscribed, get you subscribed to the email version of the newsletter as well. If you don't want to remember all that, just Google my call sign, KI0AR. You'll find a whole bunch of links, including links to the webpage and the newsletter. Okay. I also volunteer with a youth group called the International Association for Astronomical Studies, a youth group that meets out in Strasburg, Colorado on Friday evenings from 6 until 8 p.m. Always looking for new members, freshmen through senior high school age students interested in astronomy, amateur radio, high power rocketry, remote control aircraft flying, full scale aircraft construction, archaeoastronomy, radio astronomy, and balloon launch communications. More than welcome to visit our website at iaas.org for more information. Also, they are on Facebook, so if you want to check out Facebook or have a Facebook account, you may check out the International Association for Astronomical Studies. Also, a reminder that the Colorado Astronomy Net also has a Facebook page, so be sure to like us both if you have Facebook. Also, the IAAS has their own club call, which is K0AAS. If you happen to hear them on the radio, be sure to hop on there and give us a shout out there. And we'll certainly try to get you and talk with you guys. Again, I am broadcasting over on YouTube tonight as well, so you're more than welcome to hop on YouTube and check that out too. There's a little bit of a lag in the audio over there, but I'll hopefully see your posts in the chat window. And just again, if you're having trouble with the audio, that is one way to do it. We had to work on that last week, so I can't remember last week, but they're all blending together there. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. All right, I'll look for check-ins a little bit later on. If you do have NetLogger or YouTube, I'll check my emails real quick to see if anybody has sent anything. But I don't see anything right now. Nope, nobody's on there yet. All right. All right, Fred, our new check-in, KF8FSQ says, thanks. Okay, I'm just an amateur star appreciator. I've been following the Artemis 2 via the All-Star node on 516221 and on the old YouTube as well. So very good, Fred. So again, thanks for checking in and welcome to the net. All right, there you go. One more announcement for those of you who might be interested in flight simming. You may want to check out Jack's Flight Sim channel. Captain Jack Flight Sim, CAPNJACKFLTSIM. He does his thing on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Check out those flights if you can and fly along with the rest of the crew. I've got some amateur radio operators, lots of other flight simmers. It's definitely fun times are had by all there, so to speak. So check that out. Let me see. I'm just looking for, there we go. I'm just watching there. Yeah, Jim, we got you on the list. KD9UJK. Thanks for checking in over on YouTube. We got you over there. All right. I'll go ahead and get into the local astronomical news in just a sec. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. All right, now's the time for the local astronomical news. Oh, let's see. Uh, okay, oh, one more thing. Nick, we got you on the list. Thanks for checking in. KD8SLG. Let's see. Oh, that's a new call. Well, we'll catch you. We'll catch Nick real quick. uh, Always like to touch base with my new check-ins there, Nick. Again, my name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India Zero Alpha Romeo. I just want to touch base and find out what your interest background in astronomy is, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for decades like I have. What your interest might be. Just go ahead and share with us. KD8SLG, welcome to the net. Go ahead.
KI0AR. This is KD8SLG. Good evening, Burness. This is Nick. Great to meet you. W2JLS. John. They call him my brother from another mother. He told us about this net this evening, and sometimes he's NCO, so one of the other club members there, WHRS, linked up our repeaters. So there's a bunch of us out here tonight in Ohio, just listening in, tuning in. And I did spend most of yesterday following the Artemis around the moon, the lunar flyby. It was quite interesting. And, we all wanted to be astronauts as kids, right? Good to hear you out there tonight. This sounds awesome. This is KD8SLG, back to net control.
All right, Nick, welcome, and welcome to everybody else that's listening in from Ohio. Just a reminder, this is one of the few nets where your check-in does count. I do tally up the numbers and send them out to JPL as part of their outreach to the general public. They end up sending all of these numbers that I am what they call a solar system ambassador. Been doing that since '99. Working with them and this is part of what I do for that organization, and bring you news and things like that, talk about astronomy, etc., etc. And they end up sending these numbers off to NASA for funding. So there you go. So all check-ins are definitely appreciated. Okay, I will look for check-ins a little bit later on. If you do have NetLogger, hop on NetLogger and I'll get you on the list. Or if you do have YouTube, just post your call sign over there. Colorado Astronomy Net on YouTube. You can search for that. And I'll see that. Or again, send me an email, ki0ar@ki0ar.com. Especially if you've got to leave early, but there's no worries with that. But definitely like to have those check-ins. Go ahead and start off with the April local astronomical news. Start off as usual with the phases of the moon. We had a first full moon back on the 1st. We've got a last quarter moon coming up on the 10th. Got a new moon coming up on the 17th and a first quarter moon on the 23rd. The moon is at apogee today. It's farthest point away from the Earth. It's 251,637 miles from Earth. So think about that. The Artemis had to travel a little bit further to get around by an extra 30,000 miles there. The moon will be at perigee, its closest approach to the Earth this month. On the 19th, it will be 224,707 miles from Earth. Planetary highlights for April. Exciting planetary action takes place this month. Okay, yeah, I didn't want to get caught by the timeout gremlin. All right, there. Continuing. Venus and Uranus vie for attention and lie close to each other in late April. Jupiter offers a lot to observe through a telescope, particularly events involving its Galilean moons. The rest of the action takes place just before dawn, with Mars, Mercury, and Saturn making an appearance in late April. And remember to take time out to watch the Lyrid meteor shower with no moon to interfere. Uh, this excerpt is from Astronomy Magazine, April 2026, page 28. On with the planets. Mercury was at greatest western elongation, or about 28 degrees west of the sun on the 3rd, which actually means it's about as high as it was going to get in the eastern sky before dawn. Mercury is rising about 5:39 a.m. this week. Mercury is visible in the eastern sky about 30 minutes before sunrise. Actually, yeah, about 30 minutes before sunrise. Mercury moves from the constellation of Aquarius into Pisces, shining at magnitude 0.4 on the 1st. A quick tutorial on magnitudes. The magnitude scale is an inverse logarithmic scale, meaning as the magnitudes increase, the apparent brightness of an object decreases by a factor of about 2.5. The dimmest object that the human eye can see under dark sky optimal conditions is about 6th magnitude. So a magnitude 5 object is 2.5 times brighter than a magnitude 6 object, while a magnitude 7 object is 2.5 times dimmer. Any magnitudes greater than 6, you will definitely need binoculars or a telescope. Anything less than that, you should be able to see with the naked eye under optimal conditions. However, get those binoculars out and telescopes out and look at those brighter objects for sure to see the details involved with those. And for those of you who do live in or near big cities, about like I do, just south of Denver, the best that I can hope for is probably 4th magnitude with the naked eye in the evening skies under optimal cloudless conditions, which ain't happening tonight. Venus is setting about 9:20 p.m. this week. Look for Venus to the west about 30 minutes after sunset. Venus moves from the constellation of Aries into Taurus, shining at magnitude minus 3.9. Venus is very prominent in the evening sky and will be setting later and later as the month progresses. So it will appear higher and higher. All right. Mars is rising about 5:52 a.m. this week. Look for Mars low to the east in the morning about 30 minutes before sunrise. Mars moves from the constellation of Aquarius into Pisces, shining at magnitude 1.2. Actually, Mars isn't quite high enough to spot. The sun is rising about 6:30 a.m. So by the time Mars is rising, it's still going to be lost in the sun's twilight glow. So wait till towards the end of the month to spot Mars, because you definitely don't want to blind yourself by looking directly at the sun, because that will catch you real quick if you're trying to find Mars right now. We got Jupiter. Jupiter is setting about 2:30 a.m. this week. By the time the sun sets, Jupiter is high in the southern sky and dominates the rest of the night until it sets in the early morning hours before dawn. Jupiter is in the constellation of Gemini, shining at magnitude minus 2.1. And Jupiter is nearly overhead, even for us, those of us who live fairly far north. So take a look at Jupiter. quite prominent once the sun sets. Yeah, that'll be, well, Venus is probably going to be the first object, and then Jupiter, not quite a 90-degree angle, right, just almost directly overhead. So definitely get your scope out, and a little bit of neck liniment when you try to look at Jupiter, that's for sure. Wait a little bit later until it gets to a good angle to spot. Well, we got Saturn rising about 6:15 a.m. this week. Look for Saturn towards the east in the morning sky before sunrise. So another difficult one to spot right now. The Saturn moves from the constellation of Pisces into Cetus, shining at magnitude 0.9. So that's rising just about 15 minutes before the sunrise. So we'll have to wait till the end of the month to spot that. The last week of the month will probably be the best time to spot Mars, Saturn, and actually Neptune. Uranus is setting about 11 p.m. this week. Look for Uranus to the southwest in the evening. Uranus is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude 5.8. And we got Neptune. Neptune is rising about 6 a.m. this week. Look for Neptune towards the east in the morning sky before sunrise. Neptune is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 7.8. So another one that's, by the time it is high enough above the horizon, the sun is just peeking over as well. So right now is not a good time to look for, like I said, Mars, Saturn, or Neptune. Give it another 2 weeks. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Continuing, we got dwarf planets. We got Ceres. Ceres is setting about 9 p.m. this week. Ceres can be spotted low to the west once the skies darken after sunset. Ceres moves from the constellation of Cetus into Aries, shining at magnitude 8.9. And then we got Pluto rising about 3:45 a.m. this week. Pluto can be spotted to the southeast before sunrise. Pluto is in the constellation of Capricornus, shining at magnitude 15.3. As always, good luck at spotting Neptune, Ceres, and Pluto. A large telescope and dark skies will be needed. A 6 to 8 inch telescope, you should be able to spot Neptune and Ceres, or a refractor of fairly good size, 3 or 4 inch. Might pull them out under dark skies, but you'll have to work at that. Pluto, you may need about a 12-inch telescope or greater. Lots of patience and very, very dark skies to spot Pluto in the early AM hours. And the best time will be after the new moon, which is mid-month. Meteor showers. The Lyrids meteor shower are typically visible between April 16th and 25th. Maximum occurs on April 21st, 22nd. Although the maximum rate is about 10, there have been instances during the last 200 years when rates were near or over 100 per hour. The average magnitude of the meteors is near 2.4, and the speed is described as rapid. About 15% of the meteors leave persistent trains. And since the peak is occurring just a few days after new moon, this is actually a very prime year to spot some of the Lyrids in the morning sky. Anytime between midnight and dawn during that time. So anytime between the 16th and the 25th. However, if you can't get up that early and watch the meteors, just get out there on any clear night and you might be able to see a few meteors from the Lyrids streak through the skies. Since we are in springtime, it shouldn't be too bad. Well, considering. All right. Comments. I got several comments up. They're kind of dim. And definitely a challenge for those of you who chase comets. We got Comet C 2024 E1 word shows. Continues its ascent for Northern Hemisphere observers, passing between Taurus and Orion in the evening sky soon after sunset. Dimming to about 10th magnitude, it will be difficult to spot to the west even under optimal conditions. And then we got Comet 10P Temple, or Temple 2, is brightening to about 9th magnitude, passing through the Scutum star cloud near the globular cluster NGC 6712. And Scutum is a fairly low constellation, at least for northern hemisphere. The further south you are, the easier it'll be to spot that comet for those of us at 40 degrees north latitude. It's going to be a little more difficult. It could be low on the southern horizon. We do have Comet C 2025 R3 Pan-STARRS is crossing the square of Pegasus around mid-month in binocular view, but do it quickly as it disappears a week later. So get out there in the morning sky. If you can find Pegasus, looks like a baseball diamond. It's going right across the middle of that. You might see a fuzzy, a little fuzz ball. Well, that'll be Comet Pan-STARRS.
Clear.
Okay, as I was saying, it passes through Pegasus, but check for a little tiny fuzzball somewhere in there. Don't have the exact coordinates for it, so but you certainly can check online for where that is at. And that is it for the local astronomical news. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Quick pause here to let's see, anybody else over? Well, I'm looking for other check-ins that I haven't acknowledged. Mark, I got you on the list. KC8FQV. Thanks for checking in tonight. I'm not seeing any other new ones. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Kilo Mike 6 November Alpha Delta, Gary in Castle Rock, KM6NE. Alpha November.
Okay, Gary, we got you on the list. KM6NAD, thanks for checking in tonight. Alpha November, that's all I got. If you could give me a fill on your call sign, sir, I'll get you on the list. Go ahead.
Bravo, this is Kilo Bravo 7, Wait Kilo Bravo Utah.
Okay, Paul, we got you on the list. Stand by one. Hello? Standby 1, this is KI0AR. Those of you who are on YouTube, please stand by 1. Dad, what's going on?
I heard it ring like a second.
Kilo Juliet 7, Quebec Drop Foxtrot. Kilo Juliet 7, Quebec Drop Foxtrot.
Kilo 7, right? Lima, India. Kilo 7, right? Lima, India. Kilo Echo 0, Papa, Take Echo. KE0 PTE.
This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. All right, okay, I got a bunch of call signs to acknowledge, so hang in there just a sec. I heard an earlier station that ended in Alpha November. I missed the prefix on that. If you could come back with your call sign again, I'll get you on the list. Go ahead.
She didn't answer. Should I call again?
Sure. The call sign is Kilo 6, Alpha, Alpha, November. Kilo 6, Alpha, Alpha, November. QSL?
QSL, Mike. K6AAN, thanks for checking in tonight. Paul, KB7QKB, thanks for checking in tonight. That's a new call on the list, so stand by 1. Susan, we got you on the list. KJ7QGF, thanks for checking in tonight. Victor, K7MLI, thanks for checking in tonight. And Mike, KE0PTE, thanks for checking in tonight. We got you all on the list there. I do apologize. I am staying close to the phone tonight. My wife is in the hospital, so that's why I was trying to figure out. And my son and I are listening in. I wanted to make sure we didn't miss something. Oh, let's see. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to go ahead and get into the bulletins in just a sec.
She didn't answer. Okay. Should I call again?
Or text her. Maybe she buttoned out or something.
Because she has problems texting back.
Text me.
What?
Text me.
Text both of you?
Yeah, just text me.
Just you?
Yeah. Well,
Do both
if
back?
you get an answer, text me.
Should I text her on the one with both of you?
You're all right, sorry about that. This is KI0AR Net Control for Colorado Astronomy Net. Got a couple of bulletins for you this evening. I always like to start off with this particular website. Especially if you're interested in ISS passes, You may want to check out www.heavens-above.com. That's www.heavens-above.com, and check that out. There, just pull that up over on YouTube. It doesn't look like there's much over the Denver area. Not until the 16th of April, and that's an early morning, very low pass towards the southeast. But if you sign up and put in your home coordinates, then you can get much more accurate pass information. The one thing I like about this particular website is if I do click on a particular pass, then I can see what stars it's passing through and where it is relative to the horizon as well. Get a nice star chart that I can print out on a nice 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Again, that website is www.heavens-above.com. And that's it for that bulletin. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Okay, got a bulletin for you this evening. We're talking about the moon. That seems to be in the news. This is an article from phys.org, dated April 7th. Water on the moon, new study narrows down the most likely locations. Water likely accumulated on the moon slowly over billions of years, rather than during one big event, according to a new study by the international team of scientists. The researchers, including Paul Hayne, a planetary scientist at the Laboratory for Atmospheric and Space Physics, or LASP, at the University of Colorado Boulder, have published their findings in Nature Astronomy. The study gets at the lunar mystery that has puzzled scientists for decades. Observations from NASA missions and other sources have provided tantalizing hints that water might be plentiful on the moon. It gathers as ice in the deep, dark craters around the moon's south pole. But how that ice got there, or why it seems to exist in some craters but not others, hasn't been clear. The team's findings can't pin down the exact source, but they rule out a few possibilities, including water arriving on the moon at once on a homogeneous comet crashing into the lunar surface. It looks like the moon's oldest craters also have the most ice, said Hayne, an associate professor in the Department of Atmospherics and Planetary Sciences. That implies that the moon has been accumulating water more or less continuously for as much as 3 billion or 3.5 billion years. Water on the moon would be a gold mine for astronauts, Hayne said. Future lunar explorers could mine ice for drinking water, or even to produce rocket fuel by splitting apart the hydrogen and oxygen atoms. Finding water beyond Earth in liquid and usable form is one of the most important challenges in astronomy, said Oded Aharonson, lead author of the study and a planetary scientist at the Weizmann Institute of Science in Israel. Permanent lunar shadows. Haynes cited several possible sources for the moon's water. Volcanoes in the distant past may have transported water from deep inside the moon to the surface. Water may also have traveled to the moon on comets or asteroids. And it may have arrived via solar wind, a steady stream of charged particles that flows away from the sun and into the solar system. Through the solar wind, a constant stream of hydrogen bombards the moon, and some of that hydrogen can be converted to water on the lunar surface, Haynes said. Regardless of where the water came from, scientists like Haynes are fairly certain that ice has built up in what are known as cold traps, craters on the lunar surface that exist in permanent shadow and haven't seen the sun for, in some cases, billions of years. Observations from the Lyman Alpha Mapping Project, or LAMP, instrument on NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, LRO, which launched in 2009, found evidence of what might be ice in some of those craters. What's clear is that the ice has a patchy distribution, Haynes said. It's not concentrated in the same quantities in every crater, and there was no great explanation for that. Ice boxes. Haynes, Aronson, and co-author Norbert Schonghofer wanted to come up with an explanation, and to do that they hit a rewind on the moon's history. Aronson led the work as a visiting scholar at CU Boulder in 2025. The team used lunar surface temperature data from LRO's Diviner instrument and a series of computer simulations to estimate the evolution of craters on the lunar surface. Haynes noted that the moon didn't always sit in the orientation we know today. Instead, its tilt relative to Earth has shifted over time. As a result, craters that are in shadow today may not always have been in shadow. Drawing on their simulations, the researchers came up with a list of the moon's cold traps that have been darkest the longest. The team also discovered something intriguing. The moon's oldest and darkest craters are also where LAMP had seen the greatest signs of ice. The team's results may give astronauts hints about where to go looking for water. The moon's Hawthorne crater, which sits near the South Pole, for example, has likely been in shadow for more than 3 billion years. It's a top candidate for storing a lot of ice, Haynes said. The planetary scientist said that researchers need to collect more detailed observations of craters on the moon that may harbor ice. He's developing a new instrument called the Lunar Compact Infrared Imaging System, or LCIRIS, to do just that. NASA plans to deploy LCIRIS near the moon's south pole in late 2027. Ultimately, the question of the source of the moon's water will only be solved by sample analysis, he said. We will need to go to the moon to analyze those samples there or find ways to bring them from the moon back to the Earth. And that is it for the bulletins for this evening. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Okay, I'm going to call on Ed, W6RDZ, to give us the rocket report this evening. Ed, W6RDZ, are you ready to give the rocket report for tonight? Go ahead.
W6RDZ, ready to give the rocket report on your signal report. How am I coming in today?
Solid copy, Ed, solid copy. Please go ahead with the rocket report. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net.
good evening to the net. Glad to be with the net tonight. That's wonderful. Yeah, tonight we're going to open with the big news of the week. That's Artemis 2. Yesterday, the Orion spacecraft, a crew of 4, reached the furthest distance from the Earth ever achieved. That was, let me see, 252,756 miles at its furthest point in the orbit. They made a flyby of the far side. Was originally estimated 4,000 to 6,000 miles, and now narrowed it down to 4,067 miles above the lunar surface. And they made observations of the moon's far side, witnessed an eclipse of the sun, spotted flashes from meteor impacts with the lunar surface, and headed back towards the Earth on the return trip. Let's back up to Wednesday, April 1st, April Fool's Day, at 15:35 Mountain Daylight Time. Mission Commander Reed Weissman, pilot Victor Glover, astronaut Christina Koch, and Canadian astronauts Jeremy Hansen. They blasted into Earth orbit on the SLS rocket with the Orion spacecraft atop. It was a flawless launch, nearly flawless. The ground crews quickly resolved an air and temperature reading. And I'm going to reset our repeater there. W6RGZ back with the Colorado Astronomy Net rocket report. Nearly flawless launch. There was also communication issues. Those were both resolved quickly, neither one of which produced a full. There was a brief 10-minute hold near the end of the countdown, and the whole launch went swimmingly. The whole launch and flight have gone so well that about the only thing we have to talk about is the toilet. There were some problems with the toilet on the initial hours of mission. The pump needed a bit more priming, and our electrical engineer, astronaut space plumber Christina Koch, took care of that. Later, there have been problems with the tank line freezing up and warming up in the sun, but they were able to warm them up by changing the attitude of the spacecraft so the sun shines on it, and that has largely mitigated the issue. All right, looking forward on this trip, they are now past the sphere of lunar influence, meaning simply the Earth's gravity is now stronger than the moon's gravity, and that happened at 11:25 a.m. here Mountain Daylight Time, when they were 41,000 miles from the moon. So they are falling home now. Great pictures online. I put a link for some of those pictures on NetBlogger there, and they will also be in the rocket report online version. All right, I like Mike KL7FR said I was spending a good deal of my day yesterday glued to NASA TV, watching our return to the moon. Just very, very inspiring there. All right, moving on, other launches of the week that kind of pale in comparison. SpaceX launched Group 1058 from Split 40 Cape Canaveral on Thursday was the 620th successful Falcon 9 launch. Thursday, April 7th, then the first launch of China's space pioneers, their new Tiangong 3 rocket that failed around stage separation and was destroyed. The Tiangong 3 is a Chinese Falcon 9 copy, most infamously negligent KXRTV back with the rocket report. Seventh flight this week at 5:30 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Northrop successfully launched the STP-S29A. That on a Minotaur 4 rocket from Slick 8, Vandenberg Space Force Base. This was the STP-7 satellite, hosting 9 demonstration payloads for the Department of Defense. It was the 7th flight of a Minotaur rocket since becoming active in 2010. The modern Minotaur 4 is an expendable launch system derived from decommissioned LGM-18 Keeper intercontinental ballistic missiles. And our last launch of the week was also today. China Aerospace and Science Corporation successfully launched the Space Sail Polar Group 07 payload on a Long March 8 rocket from Wencheng Space Launch Site, China. The mission took 18 low Earth orbit communications satellites to the G60 constellation. All right, that's going to bring us to upcoming launches next week. 7 launches are on the docket for the coming week. First one tomorrow, China's Catherine is scheduled to launch a Long March 6A from the Taiwan Satellite Launch Center. The payload is not disclosed beforehand. Second flight also tomorrow. This is extend the repeater there before the German launch. This is W6RDZ back with the Colorado Astronomy Net rocket report. Yes, where were we there? Germany. ESAR is trying to launch the onward and upward mission on their new Spectrum rocket from the Andoya rocket range in Norway, Norway. This launch was scrubbed 12 days ago. The rocket's first launch failed spectacularly when a pressure release valve stuck open. Good luck with his second flight. We'll be watching. All right, third launch of the week, Thursday, April 9th. SpaceX hopes to launch the DRS NG-124 mission on a Falcon 9 from Slick 40 Cape Canaveral. This is the launch of Northrop Grumman's -24 Cygnus cargo resupply spacecraft, and that's headed for the International Space Station. Fourth launch, Friday, April 10th. China rocket plans to launch a Geelong 3 rocket from the Haiyang orbital spaceport in China. That's a barge just off the coast. The payload is undisclosed. Fifth flight, also Friday, SpaceX will launch Starlink Group 17-21 from Vandenberg. Monday, April 13th, SpaceX is looking to launch Starlink Group 10-24 from Starlink 40 Cape Canaveral. Last flight here is Tuesday, April 14th. Expect Blue Origin to launch Bluebird. The repeater there. W6RDZ back with the rocket report. So look for Tuesday, April 14th. Blue Origin is going to launch a new Glenn rocket for only the second time. That will be the Bluebird Block 2 FM2 mission. Launching from Cape Canaveral. This is a communications satellite for 8SC Space Mobile in low Earth orbit. This is the second flight of New Glenn. Let's see if they can execute another spectacular booster catch again, landing on Andromeda. All right, that brings us up to the only other space news I have. update on the Starship. Elon Musk announced the expected delay of Starship Test Flight 12. It'll be another 4 to 6 weeks before they get it ready. It's looking like he'll launch in May, middle to the end of May. This will be the first test flight of the Block 3 version of Starship, and that's the world's largest rocket. All right, that's it for tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net's rocket report. Go NASA, go Artemis. This is W6RD there, Rocket Man Ed, wishing you a good night and a nominal flight. Now, back to Starman Burnett, K50AR, and control for Colorado Astronomy.
All right, Ed, thanks for that. I do appreciate you doing the rocket report this evening. Always nice to catch up on all the rocket launches around the world from that. And yeah, go Artemis. Let's see. I was interrupted a little bit earlier. Do apologize for that. And I did not get to touch base with 2 new check-ins. We got Michael out in California, K6AAN, and Paul in Utah, KB7QKB. Hopefully you guys are still listening there. Didn't get to welcome you both to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Again, my name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. I do like to touch base with my my first time check-ins right off the bat, and I do apologize for not doing that earlier, but I do have other things on my mind with my wife in the hospital. Unfortunately, she's been there for the last 2 weeks, so my son and I are definitely a little bit worried about that. And they got a phone call, and it was from her. I don't know whether she was doing it or what, but we're trying to figure that out. But I want to find out what your interest background in astronomy there is. I'll call on Michael in California, K6AAN. Tell us a little bit about your interest background. Go ahead, Michael. We'll go to Paul in Utah, KB7QKB. Good evening to you, Paul. Tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy. Go ahead. I do apologize. Lost those guys right off. All right. I think I've acknowledged everybody so far. Yeah, we've got Susan, Victor, and Michael. Yeah, okay, I think we got them. Right now's the time for. Right now, I'll take a few more check-ins before we go down the list. Anyone else wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Mike Whiskey Sierra, L8MWSP, Ohio.
Okay, was that November 8, Whiskey Sierra, or did I miss a letter in there somewhere? Go ahead.
Mike Whiskey Sierra, Mexico Whiskey Sierra. Copy.
Yep, I did miss a letter. November 8th, Mike Whiskey Sierra. Got you on the list, Pete. Thanks for checking in tonight. That's a new call. Yep, that's definitely a new call. So welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Again, my name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra. Rhymes with furnace. Tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for decades like I have, or somewhere in between, whether it's professional, amateur, what have you. Pete, N8 MWS, tell us a little bit about your astronomy interest. Go ahead.
Astronomy interest. Go ahead. Most of my interest in space started, I think a lot of us did, was in the 60s with the Apollo program. I actually have cassette tapes that I recorded when Neil Armstrong stepped out of the lander onto the moon, and it was on TV all over the world. It really got me interested in that. Ended up in the engineering discipline. I'm an electronics engineer, and I'm interested in amateur radio satellites. I've done some funny stuff over the years where got friends, you know, that are like 10 miles away, and we'll make contact through a satellite that's going over. So beyond that, this whole Artemis 2 mission is really awesome to see this happen again, and I really can't wait till there's boots on the ground on the moon again. Other than that, keep looking at the stars, and that's where the final frontier is. Thanks again for letting me get on the net, and 7-3 to everybody. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe out there. Stay safe in the weather. Looks like we're kind of spring's coming upon us, so that's all I got. NAWS back to net control. I'm interested in amateur radio satellites. I've done some funny stuff over the years where got friends, you know, that are like 10 miles away, and we'll make contact through a satellite that's going over. So beyond that, this whole Artemis 2 mission is really awesome to see this happen again, and I really can't wait till there's boots on the ground on the moon again. Other than that, keep looking at the stars, and that's where the final frontier is. Thanks again for letting me get on the net, and 7-3 to everybody. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe out there. Stay safe in the weather. Looks like we're kind of spring's coming upon us, so that's all I got. NAWS back to net control.
Okay, Pete. Thanks for that comment this evening. I just did a little experiment. I was wondering why there was almost a whole minute lag between analog side and the digital side. I heard the digital about 1 minute later, so or it continued to go. I heard I didn't hear anything initially, and I flipped it over to analog. And Pete, you were talking, and then when you finished, I flipped it back over. It got the last minute. You can actually hear that over on the YouTube side, because I got both sides of it over on YouTube. Yeah, that's something for Jack to be aware of, I guess, or we'll just deal with the lag there. I guess slight difference between the different systems. But again, welcome, Pete. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Now's the time for everyone else to contribute to the net. Questions, comments, observation reports, anything you'd like to pass along to the net tonight, now's the time to do it. First on the list tonight is Ed, W6RDZ. Good evening to you, Ed. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Yeah, for this 36 RD event here in Brookfield, really don't have much for you. Have been staring up at that moon a little more frequently this week than usual. It's just, yeah, wonderful. We've got astronauts up there again. Hopefully we're back to stay. That's the plan. So more than footprints and more than flags. Well, we will be excited to see those too. That's all I've got for you. W6RDC. Back to you, Vernon.
All right, Ed, always appreciate you being there. Always appreciate that rocket report as well. Appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Dave up in Evergreen, AF0AS. Good evening to you, Dave. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
A whole lot other than I spent all day yesterday down at Starbase watching Artemis doing the thing around the moon. And then I spent much of this morning getting from back home and quickly refreshing at images.nasa.gov, which is the official repository for all NASA imagery. And there are some massive, like 8K resolution copies of all of the imagery they took yesterday, starting to show up there. Lots of good desktop wallpaper material, or wallpaper material for everybody. The real spectacular one for me was there was the really wide shot with 24 millimeter shot from the backside of the moon with the corona around it, and you could see 3 planets off to the lower right limb of the moon in that imagery. That's about all I got. That's really it.
All right, Dave, appreciate you sharing that with us. Yeah, I'm just kind of glancing through all those pictures myself. So a bunch of stuff in there, that's for sure. Appreciate you sharing that over the link over on a NetLogger. I also shared that link over on YouTube there, so do appreciate that. Appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Moy down in Texas, N5ZIQ. Good evening to you, Moy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Jack in Wheat Ridge, KE0VH. Good evening to you, Jack. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Yeah, Bruce, good evening. Good evening around the net. I want to thank everybody for participating and being a part of the net. I'd like to remind everybody that this is an internet-linked system. There's sometimes going to be even some drops, maybe even on some of the other systems that may be connected to it. Also, the fact that there is an inherent delay depending on where you may be and how many hops everything is taking to get across the internet through the links to you. So just keep that in mind. It's kind of normal and nothing much overall that anybody can do about it, but it's neat to be able to have all of these systems connected and to be able to have the information of the Astronomy Net on. So, Ernest, appreciate that, and we're certainly keeping you and your family in our prayers for all to go well and a healthy recovery for your wife and everything going on. Tomorrow night, going to be doing another live stream. Going to be flying in the simulator from Athens, Greece to Split, Croatia. A really, really interesting approach into that airport in Split, Croatia. I haven't done a lot of European flying in the sim, but going to kind of be doing some of that. Going to be flying the 737-800, a Ryanair 737-800 tomorrow night from Athens, Greece to Split, Croatia. So that should be fun. A couple hour flight. I hope you'll join me on my YouTube channel. And Bertus, glad you're live streaming on YouTube tonight as well. And we'll look forward to having the Colorado Astronomy Net here every week. So with that, back today, good evening, and I am super excited about Artemis and everything going on with that. The pictures have been just spectacular. I believe they should be on their way back now, the furthest anybody's ever been from planet Earth. It's really exciting. KI0AR from KE0VH. Thank you very much, Bernice. Have a good night.
All right, thanks for thanks for that, Jack. Yeah, I think there's a several minute delay over on YouTube as well. So, but we know what to do. We just wait. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Don't know if I will be over there tomorrow night. Too much big news tomorrow going on. Over at the hospital there, Jack. We find out some stuff. So we don't know. Next on the list is Josu in Akron, Ohio there. W8HRF. Good evening to you, Josu. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
W8HRF, good evening, I believe. Well, goodness, appreciate you running the net. Been listening for a little while here. I think since 9:30 Ohio time. We're just wrapping some stuff up here at the GTH, so it's been interesting to listen in. Like Nick 88SLG had said about an hour or so ago, a friend of ours, W2GLS, told us about the net, thought we would listen in tonight. So, anyway, it's nice to hear a couple Ohio stations checking in. So, my interest in astronomy started with my grandfather. Years ago, he would tell me about the Artemis, or not the Artemis, but the Apollo missions and the different space missions back in the 50s and 60s. And so that was very interesting. And he had a reflector telescope that he brought out once or twice. So I remember we get to look at Mars through that. So, and now that I have that telescope downstairs, and I need to set it up sometime this summer and use it in his memory. So there you go. Anyways, yeah, very excited about Artemis, like everybody else has been mentioning tonight. It's been very cool. It was really cool to hear them describe the meteorite impacts on the moon and be so giddy about it. That was really cool. So, well, I think that's about all I have for the night. Thank you for running it. We appreciate it. And send it back to you. This is W8HRF. By the way, you can call me Josh, Juliet Oscar Sierra Hotel here in Akron, Ohio. Back to Net Control.
All right, Josh, I got you on the list. Yeah, oh, you betcha. Yeah, I think you checked in before because you popped up in my database. Yeah, I definitely want to make sure I get people's names right. So that looked a little different. But you had checked in before. I couldn't tell you exactly when just yet, but I got five Ohio stations in there. So thanks to John for passing the word along. Do appreciate that for sure. And again, my name is Burness. That's Bravo, Uniform, Romeo, November, Echo, Sierra, Sierra. Rhymes with furnace. Not spelled the same, but rhymes with it there. So no worries. Josh, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Yeah, definitely neat. I grew up then myself, so maybe a little bit a little bit younger, because I don't remember too much of the '50s. But definitely the Gemini programs and the Apollo, definitely around for those and watch those in school. They'd wheel in a nice big old television, and we'd watch the launches whenever they'd occur in the classrooms or in the summers when we had a chance. Same thing. I got to watch where we were on big old honking TV set somewhere. But yeah, definitely saw that on one of the three channels for sure. Walter Cronkite was, I think, our favorite to watch for those launches for sure. Again, Josh, thanks for checking in tonight. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. For those of you who are over on YouTube and still listening, if you have any questions or comments, you can post them over in the chat. I'll acknowledge you here and then move right along. Mike in Oklahoma, KO5AOK, appreciate you checking in via YouTube. And Michael up in New York, KE2FTG, thanks for checking in via YouTube. If you guys got anything you'd like to pass along, I'll pass that along as well as soon as I see it pop up. Next on the list, Ken out in Nevada, NV7SS. Good evening to you, Ken. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, good evening, Burness. NV7SS here in Indian Springs, Nevada. Where it's been absolutely beautiful outside, I'll tell you. Every night the sky's just nice and clear and crisp and everything. And boy, the full moon was sure nice and bright that night. I'll tell you, it was beautiful. And watching the Artemis too all the time. I got in on just about 24 hours a day watching it. Very interesting, I'll tell you. You know me and the moon. I really like it. But anyway, interesting how they saw the planets when they were with the eclipse and everything. That was pretty cool. And they seen the meteor strikes on the moon and everything. Oh man, I tell you. I'd give anything in the world to be up there and see all that. But anyway, Burness, thanks a lot for being there. You always do a great job on this net, and always enjoy listening to you guys on the radio. So you take care, and we'll let you get on with the net there. This is NV7SS here in Indian Springs. Back to you, Burness.
Okay, Ken, appreciate that. Yeah, lots going on. Unfortunately, I've been otherwise occupied for the last 2 weeks, unfortunately, but I haven't seen too much. Just caught little tidbits on the net, and that's about it. Ken, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Jay up in Wyoming, AI7OF. Good evening to you, Jay. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
This is Jay up in Laramie. Thanks for running the net and you Wednesday is kind of amazing to see modern missions. You know, watching on YouTube with live streams. You know, with them going further than ever. I've heard rumors from my old man back in, you know, the first mission situation. I don't know, it's surreal getting to see his body in HD. Back to that AI that went so fast.
All right, Jay, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Yeah, I flipped it over. I'm kind of cheating myself and watching a little bit on YouTube there as well. So, but try to catch up on some of that stuff. Yeah, it brings back memories of watching it on the TV for sure. Finally back men back to the moon. It only took us 50 years to get there, but I was hoping to be one of them several years ago or several decades ago myself. But oh well. Let's see. Next on the list, John over on YouTube, KJ7AGQ. Appreciate you checking in over on YouTube as well. So thanks for that. Okay. I'm trying to read that. Let's see, Tom. Okay, Tom in Florida. Listening from, okay, Boynton Beach on your DM32 UV by way of System X Southern Wales Digital. No call sign yet. Okay, cool. And studying for now. Studying for your license for now. Hopefully we'll hear you soon enough. So loving this. Can't wait to join when I can. You betcha. So over there on YouTube, I'll put that down as a check-in. So thanks for that. Tom, excuse me, Tom 23rd, Tom over in Florida. So welcome to the net. I do appreciate you checking in tonight over there, and when you do get a call sign, definitely hop on the air for sure. And there's so many ways you can connect into the Colorado Astronomy Net via the Skyhub link, skyhublink.com system. So check that out for sure. All right. So that was a new call on the list again. So on YouTube. So there you go. Do appreciate that. So thanks for that. Okay. And all right, there we go. Where was I? I was right here. This is KI0AR, Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Roy up in Oregon, KI7PKL. Good evening to you, Roy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, well, good evening, Bruce, and everybody on the net. And as I sit up on my back porch, I'm looking up at thin, wispy clouds. Yes, we've been having a lot of that this year so far, and so that's why the telescope isn't set up. But I tell you, I've really been enjoying watching the Artemis mission, just like so many other people on the net. And it's been such a long time. And, you know, I was a kid in high school when the last Apollo mission flew. So it's been such a long time. And, you know, I'm glad to see it back. There we had kind of a remake of Apollo 8. Year or so, we'll have kind of a remake of Apollo 9. And some point after that, we'll have a remake of Apollo 11. You bet I'm going to be anyway, Burgess, thanks for doing the net, and we'll send it back to you. This is Chuck PKL.
All right, Roy, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Yeah, hopefully you'll get your scope out again sooner or later, but I do appreciate that. Another call, VE3FXI over on YouTube. Welcome. If you could post your first, let's see, first your first name. I see you're over in Burlington, Ontario. Hearing us through the VE3NCF Hamilton Port Authority. I'm using as a receive only. You'll have to fix that, you betcha. This question actually goes to Tom in Florida and VE3FXI. VE3FXI, if you could post your first name, I'd do appreciate it. I'll get you on because it's not popping up over here in QRZ. So also post over there what your interest background is in astronomy, whether you're just starting out or you're just following the rocket news or what have you, or you've been doing it for decades like I have. Certainly like to pass that along for the rest of the crew tonight, that's for sure. So if you do that for me, I'd appreciate it. And again, welcome to all the new check-ins via radio and YouTube and where else you're happen to be listening in on. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to go back up to, let's see, who's after Roy? Doug out in Parker, K0ATP. Good evening to you, Doug. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, Burgess, and to the net, K0ATP here, Doug. I'm coming to you via Wires X off of one of the Skyhub Link repeaters. I can't remember which one, but thank you very, very much for your dedication and our gratitude to you for running this net for so many years. And I appreciate to be able to take a little time on Wednesdays to play radio and talk space. So I'll let it drop. Too much to talk about in so little time, but yeah, I was born a year and a half before Sputnik launched, and I don't remember that. But I remember virtually everything that happened in the space program. I don't really recall dates where it was, but the big one for me, you know, from I'm drawing a blank here. Mercury missions to Gemini and Apollo all the way up through to the moon launches. So I was definitely remember where I was in July 20, 1969 when Neil Armstrong took his first steps on the moon. That was really amazing, and all the years after that we explored space. And it's kind of sad that we've been in a lull for so many years now, but it's so exciting to be having manned space flight deep into space, and looks like we're returning to the moon and parts beyond. So super, super exciting, and thanks for helping us keep informed. And our prayers and well wishes to you and your family, and hope everything's going to come out okay. So thanks very much, Bernice, and I'll say 73 to 71 on the net, and wish you all a good week.
All right, Doug. Yeah, you got me by a year. I've got 5 months. I was 5 months old when Sputnik went up. So there you go. But same thing with the Apollo landing and all of those launches wherever. So yeah, I'm glad we're back. Almost. We got to get the man back onto the moon now. We've gotten him around now. So that's cool, but definitely interesting stuff. So, Doug, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. All right. Next on the list is Ed in Highlands Ranch, WD0BCT. Good evening to you, Ed. Haven't heard you in a long time. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
interest got me that time of year. Was it then? Boy, that changed a lot over the years. I didn't get it right after that. That WB0BC.
You bet, Ed. Yeah, now we're on. I've been on. Gosh, you haven't checked in since we moved over to SkyHub. Yeah, it's what do we got tonight? 30 plus check-ins, and we're also on YouTube as well. So a big change from the last time I think you checked in, but definitely great to hear you again. All right, and let's see. Phil, VE3FXI up in Canada, posted he's 66 years old and lifelong fascination with space. Haven't we all? For sure there, Phil. So thanks for that. And again, welcome. Appreciate it. All right, let's see. And hopefully you guys over there that are either working on your license or working on your radio stations, you can still connect through the internet on Echolink. Sign up for Echolink, at least if you've got a call sign, and get there. You don't necessarily need any antenna for that. Just an internet connection. Echolink or the All-Star as well. So and that definitely does work on my travels as well as your travels and everybody else that's on there. So check that out for sure. The multitude of ways to check into the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Mike up in Alaska, KL7FR. Good evening to you, Mike. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Security file is being updated. Please try again later.
AI0AR in the Colorado Astronomy Net. Here is KL7FR in Willow, Alaska. Glad to get in here. Thanks for taking my check-in and thanks for calling the Colorado Astronomy Net, Ernest. First off, your wife and your family are in my thoughts and prayers. I say for our global health family, you're in our thoughts and prayers. You're not alone. We are a global family. So you're never alone, Ernest. And speaking of a global town family, good to hear Nick, KD8, SLG, and here and all the other engineers from Ohio. I think this is the right net for them because Ohio has a long and storied history in aviation and aerospace. Maybe one of those Buckeyes can come in here and tell us a little about the right patterns of Air Force Base someday. That would be an interesting topic. Anyway, good to hear about the Artemis mission. It's about time we go back to the moon. I mean, it's right there. We got the space shuttles and space stations been thinking around the Earth for 50 years at 17,500 miles an hour. Why couldn't they slingshot out of orbit and go to the moon? I always wondered about that, but glad we're finally there. And more will be revealed, I'm sure, in future missions, as well as SpaceX. Some cool stuff too. So thank you, Bernard, Starman, and thank you, Head Rocket Man, for getting me all spaced out on the Colorado Astronomy Net. Always good stuff. Thanks again, and 7-3 all. KL7, fantastic rockets. Back to net.
Oh, Mike, I appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Yeah, I was in my buddy and I went to the Wright Pat museum last year. Spent 2 days walking around that place before the Dayton Hamvention. So definitely an interesting, interesting museum they have there for sure with all the old aircraft. Definitely neat to see. You got to see it to appreciate there for sure there, Mike. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Fred in Michigan, KF8FSQ. Good evening to you, Fred. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is John in Ohio, W2JLS. Good evening to you, John. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Well, good evening, Bernard, and all the listeners. This is Nima Sierra in Colorado, Ohio. Special shout out to heard from Josh earlier and Nick KDHSLT and some of the others from Ohio. There's some folks, even Mike from Willow Frequent, our repeater. President of our repeater did take the liberty of connecting our local repeater to the Sky Hub link. So we are linked in through our repeater. This is the first time I'm actually calling in over our app into a repeater and then beaming back to you instead of checking in on Echo Link. Hope I'm coming through clearly. I was going to share something last weekend. We had technical difficulties. I didn't get around to mentioning 29 years ago, maybe around the time you were starting this net, was really an awesome period of time. March and April, it was Hale-Bopp was just full prominent. I was living in Charleston. It was maybe the most exciting astronomical observation I've had in my lifetime. I've had a couple of really amazing ones, but that was certainly among them. And it lasted weeks. You could observe that. I know that was something you enjoyed, but I'd be curious to hear if that was something that inspired this net. Also, I would take the opportunity to point out that this Saturday will be the 56th anniversary of the Apollo 13 mission, which is kind of exciting, given that we've got the lady and gentleman up there right now with Artemis 2. Very exciting. Those are all excellent humans. I've enjoyed watching them the last several days. God bless them all. And good luck to you and your family. I hope your wife's circumstances improve. And if you need me for anything, if things shift and you need me to different target dates, let me know. W2JLS passing it back. Thanks for having me, Bernard.
All right, John. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in today. John, quick question. Will you be able to hang out? Actually, I want to give you a call on the phone after the net, if that's all right. Let you know what's going on, if you can stay up that late. And just a quick touch base with what's going on. I'd rather do that over the phone rather than over the radio here. And what's coming up and what my plans may be, they're definitely up in the air right now. So would you be able to hang out? Well, I still got half the list to go. Wow. A little bit later this evening. Go ahead.
W2JLS returning. Yeah, Bernard, feel free to give me a call. I'll try to stick it out, and you can always reach me in the morning as well. But yeah, you can give me a shout. I think you still have my number. Otherwise, I'll email it to you directly. Okay.
Roger that, John. I do appreciate it. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Appreciate your question. Appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight, John. Next on the list is Russell in Weston. K9 BYU. Good evening to you, Russell. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Trevor in Brush, KF0WRX. Good evening to you, Trevor. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
KF0WRX. I ain't really got much for the net. Seems every time I step outside here recently, the last time I've been around, I look up and seems to be there's clouds. So nothing for me. Back to you.
All right, Trevor. No worries. Yeah, astronomy is one of those hobbies that requires patience and sometimes lots of it. Take it from Roy, who's one of our resident astrophotographers, for sure on that. Tonight there's a few sucker holes up in the sky, so. But definitely not worth getting the scope out for sure. All right, Trevor, definitely can relate to that. Appreciate your comments, appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Steve up in Fort Collins, KM6VAY. Good evening to you, Steve. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Well, I don't have anything for the net tonight, Burgess. It's an happy salute to the Artemis 2 crew. Kind of looking forward to Artemis 3 and 4 myself. And of course, our best wishes to your family. James 6 and UI.
All right, Steve. No worries there. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next over on YouTube is James in Illinois. KD9UJK. Good evening to you, James. If you've got any questions, anything, just post them over in the YouTube channel. I appreciate it. Next on the list is Nick up in Ohio. KD8SLG. Good evening to you, Nick. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Mark in Ohio, KC8FQV. Good evening to you, Mark. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Fell asleep for a while tonight. Matter of fact, I was on our ClubNet logo here on the W8WKY, and Gary AACS was running the net. I checked in, and he had a trivia question about the Ares and the Ares rocket we have running right now up, and the Apollo one back, Apollo 13 or Apollo 2 or whatever it was. What was the difference or something? I can't recall. I have to find out in the morning what the answer is when we do the beacon net, or the barometer net. But I fell asleep during that, and then it starts at 8. And about 9:20, I woke up and I heard the Colorado Astronomy Net. I said, "Oh, what's going on?" I didn't connect. I was so, I was out. Well, there's Nick and Nolan, W2JLS and a few others. Well, I found out what was happening. And a few nets I had on also. But then I did take a look at some of them pictures that were in the aim window links, and I looked at some of them pictures back from the space shuttle, or from the ship that went up there, the Arkham too. So I looked at them. Very good. So, well, and I had the RP net up here, and I had another net up. I had a few nets up tonight, so caught a few weeks and then got back up. Back it comes to you, K7QE.
All right, Mark. Yeah, differences between the Apollo and the Artemis missions. Yeah, that would be a good question. Um, yeah, and now that you guys have got the link, your local repeaters, some of your local repeaters in Ohio, they're hooked up to SkyHub. That definitely appreciate that link with you guys in Ohio for sure. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0A, our net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Gary in Castle Rock, KM6NAD. Good evening to you, Gary. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Michael out in California. K6AAN. Good evening to you, Michael. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Paul out in Utah. Another new call on the list. So KB7QKB. Good evening to you, Paul. Again, welcome to the net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Susan down in Arizona. KJ7QGF. Good evening to you, Susan. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Vic down in Arizona. K7MLI. Good evening to you, Vic. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. I do appreciate those who are able to stick around tonight. Let's see. Next on the list is Michael up in Fort Collins, KE0PTE. Good evening to you, Michael. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Pete out in Ohio. N8 N8MWS. Good evening to you, Pete. Again, welcome to the net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Evening, everybody on the net, and some trees. Hope you're all doing well tonight. I don't have a whole lot of traffic for you. I think I checked in earlier, but Artemis 2, it's a wonderful thing, and I'm really looking forward to boots on the ground. I said that earlier. Let's get some astronauts' feet on the ground. That'll be so much fun. It'll be great. And it'll be like reliving your childhood because I remember that. I was born in 1962, and I remember watching astronauts step out of the lunar lander onto the surface of the moon. That was the greatest thing ever. That's what probably continued my journey through technology. So, 7 MWS.
All right, Pete. Yeah, you betcha. It definitely brings back fond memories of growing up during the Apollo age for sure. I'm sure that has a lot to do with some of us youngsters growing up during that time that got us into the technological fields. You know, mine the same with aerospace and computers and software and all that kind of good stuff and satellites. Yep, me too, for sure. Again, welcome to the net. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Let's see, Tom and Phil over on YouTube. Tom in Florida and Phil up in Ontario. Phil's got a call sign, VE3FXI, so thanks for that. I wasn't able to check in over the air, but if you guys got any questions or anything you'd like to pass along, you can post that over in YouTube there. Had a couple of lurkers. I caught them. Let's see. We got David, WE8M, and Marty. We got you guys on the list, W9EAA. We'll go back to David, WE8M. Good evening to you, David. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, Burgess. Everyone on the net, this is WE8M. Well, I had been pretty much glued to the YouTube channel for NASA Artemis pretty much all week. Kind of living through the mission 24/7. But anyway, been a while since I've checked in. But right now I am imaging. We finally got a clear night here. I'm imaging NGC 4038, the antenna galaxies, which happens to be the object of the month on the Amateur Astronomy Digital Voice Net, which meets on Wednesday nights Eastern Time, 9 p.m. on the QuadNet array. So anyway, that's where we're at, and we're just enjoying life. And back to net, WE8M. We ate them.
That's a good one, David. I appreciate that. I've got a bunch of you guys in Ohio tonight, that's for sure. Thanks for your comment. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight, David. Next on the list is Marty in Iowa. W9EAA. Good evening to you, Marty. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Well, I, like a bunch of others, have been glued to the radio, listening to the Artemis audio. Last night was very, very good. Enjoyed it a whole heck of a lot. And future Artemis missions should be very, very nice. Looking forward to them. Other than that, not much astronomy-wise. Back to you, Bernice. My thoughts and prayers are with you and your wife and your family. W9 Echo Alpha Alpha, and we are in Webster, Florida.
All right, Marty. Enjoy it in Florida there for sure. Appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. We are at the bottom of the list and well past the top of the hour. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the net for one call and one call only for anybody else wishing to check in or if you have any comments for the net. Questions, comments, late check-ins, please call KI0AR now.
KI0AR, please copy Whiskey to Hotel Alpha Zulu.
Okay, we had a double there, a weak station and then a very strong station. I got a Whiskey 2 Alpha Zulu, I do believe. Let's see, I'll start with that, and then there was another weak station. I did not catch any of your call. So stand by, I'll get you. The Alpha Zulu station, if you come back and confirm your call and make sure I got it, that looks might be a new call on the list. If you could give me your call phonetically twice, I'd appreciate it, please, sir. Go ahead.
Whiskey 2 Hotel Alpha Zulu. Whiskey 2 Hotel Alpha Zulu. The name here is Eric. I'm in Albany, New York. And good evening.
All right, Eric, we got you on the list. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Well, like so many other people, I'm a bit of a space geek. And I thought the Artemis launch just went off flawlessly. I guess they're having a problem with their other facilities. But I was born in 1961, and I remember being on the porch on a hot August night in 1968, watching Neil Armstrong. It does kind of bring me back. Was it 68 or 69? I can't remember. But I was definitely there watching the TV, black and white TV, on a hot summer's night. But interesting stuff, all the Artemis stuff. Glad we're going off into the moon. And
successful. To expect you after net control to lead to HAZ.
All right, Eric. Yeah, July of '69. That's for sure. W2HAZ. Thanks for checking in. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Other station that tried to check in. That was doubled with Eric there. I'm going to turn my volume up a little bit. We'll get you on the list. If you haven't checked in to tonight's net, then your call sign phonetically twice. Otherwise, I'll just wait if you got any comments or anything like that. Go ahead, other station. Please go ahead. Okay. Excuse me. One last call. Anybody else? Questions, comments, late check-ins before I go ahead and wrap up the net. If you are a late check-in, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. That'll help. Questions, comments, late check-ins. Please call KI0AR now.
Kilo India 5 Whiskey Sierra Delta, KI 5 Whiskey Sierra Delta. The name is Pete. We're in and out, just about to get to bed, just with you guys checking in, just checking in.
All right, Pete, thanks for that. KI5WSD, thanks for checking in tonight. Let's see. That is a new call. Pete, I do like to touch base with my first time check-ins if you're listening in. Name here is Bernus. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra. Call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. You've caught the tail end of the Colorado Astronomy Net. Hopefully you've been at least listening in. And for those of you who are late check-ins, the net does start at 7 p.m. Mountain Time on Tuesdays. So there you go. Pete, tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy. And again, welcome. Go ahead.
The most I know is astronomy, I guess, the study of the stars, but I'm not too much into it. Yeah, so you guys have me stumped there. Just wanted to check in and out and look into the astronomy. Over.
No worries, Pete. Yeah, I've been doing this net for 30 years now. And I do like to touch base with the new calls on the list and just find out what your interests are. Hopefully we can pique your interest. This is a learning net, so and I think we all learn something new every net. I've been running it for 30 years, and I think I can honestly say that I've learned something new every net myself. We do talk about astronomy primarily. A little radio slides in there. I like to mix a little bit of radio and astronomy as well, and radio astronomy. Fancy that. We have some astrophotographers on here, which have great pictures that we share as well, and we do talk about the rocket launches around the world. An earlier segment. So maybe we can pique your interest one way or another there, Pete. Hopefully you'll return for more. But I definitely appreciate you checking in tonight. All right. It is getting late. I got things to do. So I am going to go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening. I'd like to thank the 35 check-ins. Great turnout, especially a whole bunch of new. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new check-ins. A lot of them from Ohio there tonight, so do appreciate that. Hopefully we'll hear from everybody next Tuesday night for another session of the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'd like to thank the Rocky Mountain Radio League for use of their repeater systems. I'd like to thank the SkyHub Link group for their linked systems, and so we can connect all around the world. Tonight we stayed within the 50 states. Got a whole bunch of them. Not quite 50 tonight. That would be interesting. But hopefully we'll hear from everybody next Tuesday night for another session of the Colorado Astronomy Net. Check out skyhublink.com for more information on that. With that, I will say 73 and keep looking up. This is KI0AR. I'm clear.
Okay, talk to you tonight. Going south, but we'll be back next